distracted by the word not any cause. Oh, we carry our way to heaven.
Okay, so the good news really is that this move, when you look at just the mechanics of it, is pretty easy. If you're a magic guy and you already know how to do the top shot, then you should be able to do this move within, a good 20 minutes of practicing. So the prerequisite is the top shot, which is by Leonard Green. And to do that, you're going to be in dealer's grip. But for this move, you're going to modify it just a little bit. You're going to put your index up here on this top right corner, and the thumb is not going to be as prominent on top of the deck. There's only going to be a little bit of the fleshy bit of the thumb on there. From this grip, what you're going to be doing is, with the pinky, you're going to be just flicking a card off of there. And that's going to be the hardest part for beginners, because really it does take quite a bit of pinky strength and dexterity to be able to move it as quick as you need to pop it up in the air and then shoot it, and the strength to get the speed. So really what I'd recommend doing is just holding it in a grip so that no cards are going to fly loose, and just practice, beveling it down and then just popping it loose. It's a popping motion. You can see that the deck is kind of, it's bending and then releasing from all that pressure. So once you feel like you've got the pinky strength down, then you can go ahead and get into the first part, which is the vertical shot up into the air. So to do that, when you're doing a normal hot shot, let's see if I can catch it. When you're doing a normal hot shot, the deck is horizontal. Therefore, the card will be traveling in a very horizontal path. But because we want a bigger target, we want to be able to hit something like this rather than something like that. So to get this broad face like that, we're going to be turning the wrist down and then torquing the thumb to the left. So from here, we're going like that. From here to here. And what that'll do is now your release point will be farther and at a different angle, and so it'll get a more vertical kind of shot. It's kind of windy, so the cards are going everywhere, but you'll see if you practice this inside that they will fly in a more vertical path. Now once you can do the actual vertical shot into the air, the actual bullet is going to be in a bit different position. The best way I can describe it is to point this corner of the deck at yourself, and your thumb as well, and then fire it that way, because when the side of the deck is facing you, when this card comes loose, it'll come out like that, kind of like a frisbee. A good way to picture it, if you're still having trouble, is thinking back to a regular top shot. When you shoot the card travels over here. So now, without moving your body, just rotate your hands so that the landing hand will be over here. Now, so if you're here, you're going to here. That kind of justifies why you're torquing the hand this way. And then you want to just tilt it up so that you can hit this nice broad surface where the card would be. So we're going from here to there. And again, most of that is just practice, because it has to be automatic. The card has to pop up into the air, do a nice little vertical spin, and as it's about here, you're going to just pop it, and the card will shoot and hit it. A good way to practice the actual bullet part of it is to just lay some stationary targets and then just practice hitting them, so you can practice where you need to position your hand to get the card to go where you want to. So for example, you could tape some cards up on the wall and then practice shooting each card, and then quickly transitioning to the next card and just shooting each one, kind of like, it's just like target practice. And this will be a little bit easier because the cards aren't actually moving, they'll just be stationary, taped to the wall. As far as the timing goes, this is some knowledge that kind of carries over from shooting like actual guns, like shotguns, like skeet shooting. And what you want to do is the path of this card, it's going to reach a stopping point there, and it's going to hover for a second, and then it's going to fall back down. I'm talking about when you shoot it vertically. It should come up, kind of pause, and then fall back down. And once you've done this enough, you'll be able to predict, once you see that card kind of shoot up, you'll be able to predict where that hover spot will be. Doing this will make you a little more accurate because you're shooting where the card actually is instead of where the card will be. Because if you try and shoot it after this hover point, you're going to have to lead it a little bit. So if the card is here but it's falling, you're going to have to shoot down here in order to hit it. And that just takes, you know, more timing and more, you know, cognitive thinking. So again, just try and hit it in that hover spot. And really, guys, that's about it. The rest is up to you. You just have to practice it. You know, practice over a blanket. That'll make it easier to pick up the cards. Especially you might want to practice with like an older deck. You see this one, I kind of use this one for throwing sometimes, so the corners are all messed up. You just don't want to get your cards dirty from picking them up all the time when you're practicing. So other than that, thanks for watching and have fun.
Our way to heaven. Oh, we care our way to heaven.